Ho, ho, ho!
Welcome back to the Four Horsemen. Let's have some Christmas fun. This is Tom from Spork Syndicate, together with Paul from Diecast Graveyard, Skip from Crossroad Diecast Speed Shop, and Andrew from Maple Leaf Customs. We are the Four Horsemen. This month's build theme is Santa Claus, and we welcome back Santa Slow Dog as our guest horseman. I'm just showing off my holiday build from last year, a Hot Wheels twin mill with 9 V8 engines. A year goes by, and I'm kinda doing the same thing. Only no Rudolph this time. In addition to the 4 Star Wars movies, Rogue One, A New Hope, The Empire Strikes Back, and Return of the Jedi, there's a really cool short film inside one of George Lucas's late 90s CGI tests that are most definitely not part of Star Wars canon. It's a racing sequence set on the surface of Tatooine, the home of Luke Skywalker, and it's clearly an homage to Lucas's love of racing, like the street races in American Graffiti. Podracers are sleds that are towed at impossible speeds by twin engines that are tethered to the front. Originally, I was going to customize this Hot Wheels Dreammobile into a flying car, but why not give it 8 engines? Enter the Hot Wheels Salt Shaker, or 4 of them to be exact. And off we go. This is my 3rd straight month where my Four Horsemen build is comprised of 5 vehicles. But this time around, I'm going to work with the lines of the castings and not try to brute force something new into existence. As for the Dreammobile, I'm sticking with the candy red. I removed the tampos with a dry erase marker earlier. Some quick cuts turn the salt shakers into twin jet engines. All I have to do now is strip the paint from the 4 metal bases, as I'm going to paint them Spectraflame red. To prepare the metal bases for Spectraflame paint, I go at them first with a steel wool attachment on my rotary tool. This removes any leftover paint and many imperfections. Next, I file down the lettering on the underside because those surfaces will be in view. I finish the job with a rotary sandpaper head. After that, it's time for metal polish. I use flits, which I dab on, then polish with a rotary attachment, and then buff into a bright shine. All that's left is a little degreaser, and they're ready for paint.
Ho, ho, ho.
There'll be 8 total engines, and they'll each have a name. You see where I'm going. Our first dry fit looks pretty nice. I'm stuck on turning all the chrome gold, so I've got some painting to do. JB Weld turns the glue bond into a permanent one, which is key as I won't be using screws to keep the engine arrays together. I think it would be cheating if this Podracer didn't have some sled runners. The undercarriage is going to be fastened to the base, and the body and cockpit will be screwed on as normal. I got into this hobby because I searched YouTube to fix bent axles, and then discovered that there's this international community out there who take apart cars and reimagine them. In On Writing, Stephen King's book about the craft, he retold how he used to trace comic books when he was a kid, down to the things the characters were saying in those bubbles. His parents suggested he fill in his own words, make them go on different adventures. King described the first time he wrote new words for the comic book heroes to say as freeing. I feel that way whenever I'm fabricating something like this, especially when I've never done it before, so I'm still figuring out how to do it. This is my favorite part of the hobby. Just making stuff up. I wasn't surprised that the tubes inside the body would require some room be made. Okay, I like that.
That's a lot of wind.
Fortunately, my brother was in town, so putting my paint booth back together and fastening it down a little better was easy. After it was back together, I made everything gold and Spectraflame red. I actually ran out of hardener, but used Diecast Graveyard's hardener from the 2K Clear kit, and I didn't miss a step. A little out of sequence here, I painted those Kermit green intakes about a week before the rest. My wife didn't like that smoky glass would hide my green Argyle interior, so I found another Dreammobile and harvested some clear glass. Oh, that's going to work just fine. And most importantly, my wife agrees. I put the smoky glass on the other Dreammobile. I think I might be the only one that'll notice. I thought I could complete the interior with a single decal. Turns out I had to cut and affix them in pairs. Even then, I had to do a little paint touch-up, but I'm happy with the result. Each jet engine has a name. The others are Prancer and Vixen, Comet, Cupid, Donner, and Blitzen. Seemed appropriate. So did Rolls-Royce engines. The two 4-packs of engines are glued together. I added some wire to provide cover for the missing rear wheels, and also on the front to hide where the pieces were held and were still chrome, not gold. Since the Podracers float on air, I had to have a stand. Since I have 3 independent pieces, I chose to go with a little diorama. If I had more time, it would have been a roof with a chimney. But it's the holidays, so imagine this is a snowy Tatooine. They've got Santa in Star Wars, don't they? Thanks again to the ubiquitous Santa Slow Dog for taking time out of the busiest part of his year to be our guest horseman. Next month, we start a new generation of the Four Horsemen as we welcome Ron from Somo Diecast to the team in place of the departing Andrew from Maple Leaf Customs. Andrew, you are at the top of my list of people who encourage me to get into this hobby and push myself each time out. I'm excited for this next chapter in your life and feel lucky to have worked alongside you. Hey, and don't forget about me and next summer's road trip buddy builds, eh? But I'm also excited to have Ron join the team. His slogan, "Sure, I could buy it, but why not build it?" is a favorite of mine. And I love that he refers to the leftover stew inside his paint stripper jar as Ozark pond water. I'm looking forward to getting to know Ron better. January's theme is Shop Truck, and our guest horseman is Steve from Miniature Mustangs. Here's a quick look at our build calendar for 2026. Note that there's only 10 builds next year, and we're taking the months of August and December off.
Four Horsemen diecast builds are open to all. You don't need a YouTube channel or even a social media presence to participate. All you need to do is join in. Customize a diecast car to the theme of our community build. But don't stop there. We want to celebrate your work and include it in our monthly recap videos. To have your build recognized, email an in-focus, high-res glamour shot on a white or light background to fourhorsemendiecast@gmail.com on the due date of the build, and we will include it in the recap video. But if you do have social media, be sure to use the hashtag #4HorsemenDiecast so others can see your work.
Ho, 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 ho!
For the Four Horsemen, this is Tom. Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, and let's do this again real soon.